Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mitch Kam, and I'm a senior here at Marquette University within the Applied Investment Management program. Today, I'm going to speak about Gentherm Incorporated with the ticker THRM. I recommend that we buy at a price of $77.93 with a price target of $92.59. Gentherm engages in the designing, development, manufacturing, and marketing of heating, cooling, and ventilation devices for their automotive and medical systems. The automotive segment focuses on their seat comfort systems, specialized automotive cable systems, and automotive and non-automotive thermal convenience products, primarily with the HVAC systems in existing cars and looking to expand into the electric vehicle space. The medical segment includes a global power technologies business for patient thermal technology to work on hospital technology for patient thermal services in a variety of different functions. They're headquartered in Northville, Michigan. They have about 11,000 full-time employees throughout the world. They were founded in 1991 and IPO'd in 2003. The share price at the close on the 21st of September was $77.93. They have a market cap of about $2,653,000,000. The 52-week range has been anywhere from about $34 to $89. In the last 12 months, their price to earnings has been just over 34. Their EV to EBITDA in the last 12 months is 36.6 times. 2020 actual revenues were $913 million and 98. And they have a AA ESG rating from MSCI. I recommend that the AIM Equity Small Cap Fund purchase shares of Gentherm Incorporated at $77.93 with a price target of $92.59, representing a potential 18.82% upside. I believe that this is a good investment as the company's shift into development of proprietary algorithms and software has enabled scalability of their products and expansion into new markets, namely the electric vehicle space. Their newest heating and cooling solution, ClimateSense, delivers 50% energy savings in electric vehicle HVAC systems, and given their strong award bookings over the last few years and the large ramp up in EV production, the outlook for Gentherm looks bright. The main investment drivers here begin with ClimateSense. ClimateSense recently received its first $400 million production award with an automaker. Gentherm management, of course, is not able to speak on it, but it is believed to be GM or BMW for a model year 2024 electric vehicle. ClimateSense controlled comfort experience allows for 50 to 70% less energy consumption while extending range by up to 50 miles. When you consider that on the high-end average range of electric vehicles is currently 300 miles, a 15% extension in range would be huge in the adoption of electric vehicles, as this has been a major sticking point for consumers not wanting to switch over into the electric vehicle space. What ClimateSense allows to do is to have personalized comfort throughout the car, where each person is able to set their different comforts how they want them, and by using this algorithm and software, it only blows the air, heating or cooling where it's needed, which doesn't drain the battery as much as a standard system. Think about it as a way where someday you may call up an Uber and be able to select, okay, you would like your cup holder to be warm if you have a coffee in the morning, or you would like your neck rest to be warm in the wintertime or cool in the summertime, and you would like the temperature to be 65 degrees blowing at a certain fan speed. This is all possible through ClimateSense. The electric vehicle market continues to soar. The global share of EV sales is projected to grow from 4% of the total in 2021 to about 16% by 2025 and 34%, which would be 32 million cars per year in 2030. This represents the potential to exploit the expected $802 billion EV industry in 2030 through this HVAC efficiency technology and full car care ClimateSense. The phase out of ICE vehicles and their production over the next decade will aid in this growth, as many companies and countries, including California here in the United States, have said that they will not be producing these combustion engines past 2035. And the healthcare segment can only help. Using what they've learned on the automotive side, management is focusing on enhancing their offerings of their Astopad, warm air, and filtered flow solutions to become a holistic player in the patient thermal space. Increased hospital access here as we wane out of COVID will only allow for greater penetration in this market. The valuation here on Gentherm was pretty straightforward. I built a DCF model with an 80% weight, which got a price target of $93.41, with a weighted average cost of capital of 8.02% and a terminal growth rate of 2.0%. I also computed an EV to EBITDA relative valuation and weighted that at 15%, which generated a price target of $85.29, with a 2020 peer multiple of 13.9 times. Gentherm's EV to EBITDA in 2020 was a little bit lower at 12.7 times. Price to cash flow, I think in this space is very important to have cash flow to cover needs and also expansion opportunities. Their price target here was $101.39. The 2020 peer multiple on price to cash flow was 24.16 times, and Gentherm was at 18.57 times. Some of the different investment risks that Gentherm may run into. The automotive market is very cyclical and heavily affected by current economic conditions. If our economy continues on a downturn, people will be less likely to buy new cars, especially new electric vehicles or more expensive cars in which Gentherm's technology would thrive, which would negatively impact the company as less cars being bought is less technology for Gentherm to sell. Their suppliers could be disrupted. They rely on a small number of suppliers and vendors to produce their components, and any disruption to the supply chain will cause the firm decrease revenues and negatively impact customer relationships and raw material costs. As we've all seen, raw materials have fluctuated a lot recently in many different regards, and sourcing these inputs for their products, including copper. These price increases could lead to increase in cost of goods sold, forcing Gentherm to charge more for their products or cut margins, which would not be ideal. Finally, Gentherm is looking to take technology to the next degree, leading a revolution in thermal management. I believe that they can do this by focus on their adoption of their ClimateSense offerings, which will allow them to become a big player in the EV market. These strong award bookings in the last few years and that huge ramp up in EV production will allow the firm to solidify their position as a market leader. I believe as ClimateSense takes hold, this company can expand. If you have any questions, please see my contact info and feel free to reach out to me via phone or email. I hope you have a great day.